Hey guys, it's your girl Goldynaps. Welcome back to my channel. I know that it has been several months now that I have not recorded a video. I've been busy with life and school and whatnot, okay? This is kind of time consuming, so I just haven't had the time to record a full-length video, but I'm back. I'm better. I'm here now, okay? It's better late than never. I'm sorry. But yeah, while I was away, I got a lot of requests to do the second part of my natural hair journey video, and if you haven't seen that video, you should go check it out. It was basically about my reasons for going natural and what it means to me to be natural. But this second part is going to be mainly about, which products I used when I first big chopped, techniques I used to grow out my hair. So a little more educational, a little bit more about tips and tricks to help you guys out with your own natural hair journeys. So I don't want to keep rambling for too much longer because I have a tendency to do that. Instead, we're going to just get straight into the video. So if you want to hear about my tips for growing out your hair, then stick around. Okay, so I guess we'll start off by me talking about my big chop. When I big chopped, I already had short hair. I basically had cut it all off, but I was still relaxing it, so it was just a short straight cut, but it was still damaged because I was still putting chemicals on it, so cutting it all off really did not get me anywhere. So when I went to, get all the relaxed ends cut off, I was basically already bald, but it's cool. I went to just some random salon. I didn't go to anyone who specialized in curly hair, and I was just like, do it, cut it all off. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I look a mess. So when I got it all cut off, I was wholly unprepared for dealing with my natural hair. I had no idea what my texture was going to look like. I had no idea how to take care of it. I had no idea what products to use. I just didn't want damaged hair anymore. So I was like, let's go for it. Let's do it. But at the time, I was watching a lot of YouTube videos and seeing other girls go natural, so I was like,
you know what, I got this under control because YouTube told me that shea moisture is the move.
So you know what, tip number one is already here. Tip number one is YouTube is not the end all be all. I don't care whose videos you're watching, it could be my videos. Things that work for me are not necessarily going to work for you. Regardless of who you are or whose videos you're watching, you are going to have a trial and error process. So don't watch somebody's videos if you're a new natural and just think, okay, it looks like they have a similar texture to me, so I'm gonna buy all the products they use. I wasted a ridiculous amount of money buying products because I thought my hair texture was gonna look like somebody else's, and then it didn't even turn out to look like that. The majority of the influencers that I was watching before I big chopped had 3A hair, because genuinely I thought that my hair type was looser than what it actually is, and I was like, okay, I'm
just gonna buy all these products because I already know my hair's gonna be loose curls.
And it was not. So just save yourself some time and money and don't assume things about your hair until you've worked with it a little bit and learned what its porosity is, how much moisture it can absorb, how dry it is, all that kind of stuff. Those are the things that you need to know in order to buy the right products for your hair. And obviously, to know if a product is right for you, you're going to have to try it anyways. What's crazy is when I really think about it, I didn't fully learn how to style my hair until a few months ago. I'm not gonna lie. And when I say that, I mean every time I do my wash and go now, it comes out exactly how I want it. Or every time that I refresh my hair now, it comes out exactly how I want it. And I think just by doing your hair all the time, that's really how you learn. You're gonna have to mess it up several times before you really get it down. And it took me a good 2 years to get it down, but once I mastered that wash and go, then I was like, let me branch out, let me try a braid out, let me try a twist out. And this right now, this is a day 2 twist out. I'll have you know. But yeah, I don't know, natural hair is really complicated, you guys. I feel this video is gonna be all over the place because it's so it seems like you'd be able to just be like, hey girl, this is what you do for your hair to grow. This is what you do to learn how to style your hair. But it's really not. It's a very personal experience. I feel like as a newly natural, like this is the really important thing to consider. Your technique is much more important than the products that you use, because to be honest, there are a bunch of different products that are going to do the same thing. I have a ton of products that I love, and they generally get me to the exact same result because they do what I need them to do to my hair. I know I have dry hair, I have 3C4A hair, and I need a certain amount of moisture, and if a product doesn't provide that moisture or hold for me, then it's just not gonna work. So what really gets you to the results that you want to see in your hair is the way that you apply the products, the way that you take care of your hair, the porosity of your hair. Those are the things that matter, and those are the things that you really need to focus on and cater to when you're a newly natural. So I wouldn't recommend spending a lot of money on products. Honestly, when I first went natural, I used like 4 products until I figured out how to actually style my hair. You know what? This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna tell you guys what my routine was when I first went natural. I washed my hair with Shea Moisture African Mint shampoo, I think that's what it's called. I wash my hair with that. It has peppermint oil in it, and peppermint oil makes your scalp tingle, and that promotes growth, so I really liked it. Also, I just like the feeling of my scalp tingling, I don't know why, but it also helps your hair grow. I detangled with that huge jar of Aussie Moist conditioner, okay? It's super cheap. It gets the job done, okay? I don't care if it has whatever silicone, paraben, I don't care, okay? Like, it detangled my hair and it didn't make it dry, so, you know, like, sometimes don't feed into this hype of, oh, your product shouldn't have this or this or this. If it works for you, it works for you. Just if you try it and you don't like it, then don't get it anymore. But if something is working for you, like, I don't think you necessarily have to play in the hype of, oh, it has parabens in it. Like,
okay, sis, but my hair is popping. Like,
anyways, next product that I use, I would style my hair with, what did I use? Oh, Cantu leave-in. Okay, Cantu leave-in came in clutch. And also the Shea Moisture Curl Enhancing Smoothie. Oh my god, I haven't used that in a minute. But yeah, those were the only products that I used. Oh, also oil. For oil, oh my god, I used to love this oil. It was the Dr. Miracle's Hot Grow. Also, like, makes your scalp tingle, so I put that on my scalp every single night, and I put a little bit on my ends. So those were the only products that I used for a good, I'm gonna say, like, a year, to be honest. That whole time, like, I feel like what people don't really consider when they've been relaxing their hair for years is that your scalp also has to recover. So even if you've cut off all of your hair, your scalp is still significantly damaged by the amount of chemical that you've put on it for years and years. So even when your new growth is growing out, the curl pattern is still a little wonky. So I felt like every time my hair grew a little bit, I would have to relearn how to style it. And that was kind of a struggle. So I was like, I'm not gonna keep changing out my products. I'm just gonna change the way that I kind of style my hair. So honestly, when I did have my hair out, because for the first year of my hair journey, I really still wasn't comfortable with my natural texture. It ended up being a lot coarser and a lot tighter than I thought it would be, and I just wasn't comfortable with it. It took me a lot of time to like grow into wanting to wear it out. So for a lot of the time of the first year of my journey, I actually got box braids and like protective styles. But when I did have my hair out, I literally didn't know what I was doing. Like, even watching videos and trying to do it, like I was struggling, like, to be honest. But I would wet and restyle my hair every single day. Like, and that took a lot of time, okay? My hair takes forever to dry. And this was before I knew how to use a blow dryer, so it was just hard. And like my ends were still looking really weird, and I was like, I keep cutting it, so why does it still look weird? And it was because of that whole like scalp thing. Like, my scalp needed to heal, but I literally had to like constantly finger coil it. I just really, like, everybody is gonna have to go through that process of trying to figure out their hair. Like, there's no way around that, and you shouldn't try to skip it either, because like you have to learn what it is that your hair likes and what it doesn't like to get it to look good. Like I'm really not going to be able to give you guys like a secret code that's going to allow you to just unleash your natural hair. Like, it took me a good year to figure out what my hair liked. It's a process. Like, it really is a hair journey. If you know that you have fragile hair, I do not recommend over manipulating it and over styling it all the time. And I learned that the hard way, because when I first big chopped, I styled it every single day. And if your hair is fragile and you're touching it all the time and you're messing around with it all the time, you're going to get breakage. At least that's what happened with me. So I had to recognize, like, okay, you're gonna have to figure out how to extend your styles. And instead of actually like trying to do that, I just got protective styles, because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, this is really hard. But don't give up on your hair. Like, don't give up on it. Maybe like you just need to wait for it to grow out a little bit more, to be more comfortable with it, to like try different things. Like, I understand that awkward length stage it's a mess. Like, it's not long, but it's not short, and you don't know what hairstyle to do. Like, it's hard. Like, I'm gonna put up a picture of the style that I would do when my hair was an awkward length, and I just looked like a toddler. Like, I did not like it. So yeah, don't over manipulate your hair. But I think that goes to like the major theme of this video, which is just get to know your hair, because I'm giving you guys tips based on what I know about my own hair. If you know that your hair, even if you have 4C hair, it really doesn't matter what hair type you have. If you know that your hair is not fragile and it can withstand being manipulated every single day, then go for it, because it works for you. If you can, switch from a twist out to a fro hawk to a whatever you want to do every single day, then do it. But personally, for me, like, the reason why I shied away from doing twist outs and braid outs for so long was because, like, A, I didn't know how to keep my hair moisturized, and B, I know it's fragile, so I can't be doing stuff to it every day. I think my next tip would probably be to emphasize that you need to deep condition every single week. Like, this is so important. And to this day in my natural hair journey, okay, I'm 2.5 years along, like, I deep condition once a week, okay, without a fault. Like, and if I don't do it, I notice the dryness in my hair. Like, if I forget, like, my hair really, like, it's just dry and it's difficult to maintain. Like, my products don't apply the same way. Like, you need moisture in your hair. If you have natural hair, you need moisture in your hair, and deep conditioning is the only real way to really infuse that sort of hydration into your curls. So do it. Like, I'm telling you, when I really got consistent with deep conditioning, I saw a huge difference in my hair. So I really recommend that. I'm really emphasizing it. I'm gonna say it again, deep condition at least once a week. And honestly, if you feel like my curls are still dry, deep condition again, okay? Like, it's not gonna hurt you. I think I'm just gonna tell you guys some of my favorite deep conditioners, just to like send that point home that I really want you guys to deep condition. I really like the Curls Cashmere and Caviar deep conditioner. I feel like right now that is my favorite. I also really like the Mixed Chicks deep conditioner. Don't be fooled by the name. The products are for everybody, not just mixed people. And I also really like the Diva Curl Heaven and Hair deep conditioner, but that one's a little bit pricier. But you know what? If you want to splurge, like, honestly, I recommend splurging on all Diva Curl products, because they're great and worth the money. I think the next thing I'm gonna say is that scalp care is just as important as hair care. And a lot of naturals will say, like, oh, don't shampoo all the time. But again, I'm gonna hit this point home. Know your hair, know your scalp. I literally, by the end of 1 week, I have buildup on my scalp and I have to wash my hair. Like, I don't care if the strands are dry, like, I at least need to concentrate washing my scalp, because there's literal, like, buildup on it. Like, this sounds disgusting, but if I scratch my head, there will be buildup under my nails. So
I really don't, like, I have to. Like, they don't have a choice.
And like, honestly, when you think about it, like, your hair is growing out of your scalp. If the pores on your scalp are all clogged up, how do you expect hair to grow out of there? Like, your scalp needs to be clean. And it, like, look at my favorite shampoos. I mean, honestly, that Shea Moisture African Mint shampoo is still the bomb.com. I also really like Diva Curl No Poo. Ooh, No Poo is great because your scalp feels clean. Also, it smells like, I really like clean smells. Like, I don't really like my products to smell like fruits and stuff. Like, that's just kind of weird to me, but you know, like, a lot of them do, so I just go with it. But Diva Curl No Poo smells clean, and it makes your scalp feel clean, but it doesn't suds up and it doesn't strip your hair of moisture. So, that's like literally exactly what I want in a shampoo. I don't want my strands to feel dry, but like, I need my scalp to feel clean, which is why co-wash really is not my jam, because it literally just feels like I'm putting conditioner on my scalp, and I don't like that feeling, and my scalp also just doesn't feel clean afterwards. So like, you just gotta figure out what works for you, and you gotta figure out, like, do I really need the shampoo all the time? If you need the shampoo, you should do it because you're going to affect your hair growth. If your scalp feels dirty, like, your hair cannot grow if your scalp is dirty, honey. Like, you really clean it, take care of it, take care of your scalp just as much as you take care of your hair. Okay, so another thing that we need to talk about is trimming, okay? Because when I first big chopped, I was hearing through the YouTube and the Instagram and the whatever, what have you, that you need to trim your hair every 3 to 6 months, all right? And I found a curly stylist that I really loved. I've been going to her since I got my first, curly hair trim. She knows how to do my hair. She's great. Every time I go to her, I get exactly what I want. And after my first time getting my hair cut with her, I showed up 3 months later and I was like,
I'm ready for my trim.
And she was like, what are you doing here, basically? Like, you don't need to trim your hair every 3 months. Like, she told me, based on my texture and like the way that she had like looked at my hair and everything, that I only need to get it trimmed once a year.
Okay, once a year.
And let me tell you, look at all this growth that I've had in the 2.5 years that I've been natural. You do not need...
It's so frustrating.
Because you will really like tell yourself that because I heard it on YouTube and because this girl has this kind of hair and it's like my hair, that I just need to do exactly what she does. No, you need to do research on your end. You need to figure out stuff on your end. You need to get your own information, and that's how you're going to help your hair, and you're gonna get your hair to grow. You're gonna get healthy hair. Like, it's so aggravating because, like, honestly, like, I really... Like, if you hear anything from this video, just hear, know your hair. That's it. Because I feel like everything that I'm talking about is because I made the mistake of not making the effort to know my hair and just listening to people who look like they had similar texture to me. So, you do not need to trim your hair every 3 to 6 months necessarily. Maybe you do. If your stylist tells you you do, then you should. But you need to go out and figure that out for yourself. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. I think another thing that's really important to consider is that the way that you get your hair cut and shaped will affect the way that you style your hair. So usually when I get my hair cut, I get layers and bangs to get that round fro shape, but I haven't gotten my hair trimmed in a minute. So it's kind of grown out a little bit. So I have to style my hair differently because I don't really have bangs in my face. So that's just something to consider. Sometimes if your hair is not shaped in a certain way, like, you're not going to get the volume or look that you want. So that's something that you need to go and talk to your stylist about in your consultation. If A, you have the curl type to get the look that you want, and B, when it is cut the way that you want it, that you're styling it in the correct way to get the final result that you're looking for. I think like another thing to consider is that your hair is just gonna change over the course of your journey. Like things are gonna stop working, products that you liked are gonna stop working, and that might be because like the length of your hair changes how it reacts to certain products or whatever it may be. But just be open to the fact that things are not always gonna work all the time, and to not be frustrated about that. Like for example, like when my hair was short, I think that like Can.2 works great, but now I think it's like too heavy for my hair and like weighs it down. So, and another thing, like I used to really not like Denman brushes. I don't know why, like I was just like, this is not doing anything for my hair. I still don't think it does anything for my curls, but I detangle in the shower with a Denman brush now. And I used to not do that. I used to finger detangle, but I guess now I just have like so much hair that finger detangling really doesn't, it's not doing the job anymore. So yeah, now I use a Denman brush, or like, I don't know, what's another example? I don't know. I've never liked picks. I don't think I'm ever going to like a pick. Maybe I'm using it wrong. I don't know. I feel like every time I try to use a pick, it just like tangles my roots, and then the process of detangling it the next week is like bonkers. I've never used that word in my life. Next, I feel like the hardest thing for me to learn with my natural hair was being able to like extend a style for more than a day. Like learning how to refresh my hair was such a struggle. And I have a video up here of how I refresh my hair, and I literally don't even do it that way anymore because like I found an easier way, like I found a better way. So yeah, I think style maintenance might be the most difficult thing for me, at least. And I think it comes down to like that day one hair, like depending on how defined it is and how well you did it, that's what determines how much you can extend it. Like if day one your hair is already frizzy, like sis, you're not going to be able to extend it for 3 days, unless you just want to wear it frizzy. But like it's a lot more difficult to maintain frizzy hair than it is to maintain something that's super defined, you know? Because then it just gets frizzier and frizzier. As the days go on, instead of being frizzy day one. So yeah, I think that was probably the hardest thing for me to learn. And getting better at it came with figuring out how to sleep on my hair. Like yes, you can do a pineapple, but like how do you put the scarf on to pineapple? Like, how do you decide all of those things? So yes, that was something that helped me figure out how to maintain a hairstyle for longer, how I pineappled it up when I went to sleep. What fabric your scarf is, it needs to be a satin scarf, like satin. I don't know, like I had a scarf that I used to wear that I got from the beauty supply store, and it was kind of satiny, but I don't think it was satin because then I got an actual satin scarf, and now my hair is like a lot more hydrated, so I don't know what I was putting on my hair before. I think some people also use like satin pillowcases, but honestly, like I roll around when I sleep, like I will end up with my head on the other side of the bed, so a pillowcase is not gonna help me. I need something that is like secured onto my head. Yeah, that comes back to the point that I made, like know yourself, know your hair. That's how you figure it out, and that's how you can, you know, maintain your styles better. Another thing I think that's important is to focus on health rather than length. I remember when I first cut my hair off, I would literally like pull it out every single day to check like how much had I grown. Like it's not gonna grow in a day, it's not gonna grow in a week. Like if you make sure that you're gentle with your hair, that you detangle it in a way where you're not causing breakage or like ripping at it, if you're keeping your scalp healthy and clean, if you're making sure to deep condition and keep it moisturized, like your hair will be healthy and the growth will come with that. If you're really just focused on length and you're not doing the necessary steps to get that length, like you can't expect it to come basically. Like you need to learn how to style your hair and take care of it and focus on keeping it healthy and moisturized, and it will grow. Like I promise you. Like I really didn't start seeing results in my hair until after the first maybe like 8 months after I big chopped. Like I thought my hair was the same length for like the first 8 months, and I was like,
why is it not growing? Like I'm doing all the things that I need to do.
and I promise you, like just be patient with your hair and like the length will come. Length retention is the most important thing for trying to grow your hair, because I feel like the rate that it grows out is mainly related to genetics. I think my hair grows at a pretty quick rate, but honestly, if I wasn't doing what I need to do to keep that length, it wouldn't really matter, because when I was straightening my hair, it didn't ever grow past shoulder length, and I didn't know that my hair grew as fast as it does because I was not maintaining the length that I was getting. So even if your hair doesn't grow that fast, if you're keeping it moisturized and healthy, like you'll eventually start to see that progress. But yeah, I feel like those are all the tips that I have for now, at least that I can think of on the spot. If I can think of anything else, I'll probably just add it into the description box below. I really feel like this video was like all over the place, to be honest. Like I was ranting for a lot of it, but you know what, I'm gonna edit it and try to make some sense out of it so that it is useful for you guys. But yeah, thank you for tuning into this video and being a subscriber if you are already subscribed. I would love you to join the family if you're not subscribed. So be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, comment down below what else you would like to see. And I really hope that this is helpful for you guys. And you know, my DMs are always open on my Instagram. I'll put my handle up on the screen, and I always respond to comments on here. So if there's anything that you would like to know my opinions on that I didn't talk about in this video, feel free to reach out. Or if you want me to elaborate on anything, like literally, I love talking to you guys. I love communicating with you guys. I feel like a lot of you assume that I won't answer your DMs, but honestly, like if it's hair related and you're not making me uncomfortable or saying something sus, like I'm gonna respond. Like I try to do my best to interact with you guys. So yeah, I think that's it for this video. I'm gonna go now. Like I really need to get better at ending videos. Like this is really like not. It's okay. I'm like still becoming a YouTube personality, so I'm gonna figure it out. But yeah, like I'm gonna go. Bye.